Hey YouTube, Denise here from Dueling Bunnies, all comfortable in my PJs, ready to give you part 2 of Let's Talk About Inzektors. Now this video is going to be called Extra Power on the Side. Now, if you can guess, what I'm going to try to talk about today is Extra Deck and Side Deck. We're going to talk about Extra Deck for Inzektor players and Side Deck for Inzektor players. This can be used to benefit yourself as an Inzektor player, or to learn how to beat Inzektor players. So that's why I'm doing this video as unbiased as possible. Even though this is the deck that I am running, I will give you unbiased information about the deck. I will tell you how to beat it. I will tell you what to tech in it. I will tell you what's good in it, what's bad in it. I will give you all the rundown of everything about Inzektors. How to win with them, how to beat them, how to side against them, what to side when you're playing them, and just what to play from your extra deck when you're playing an Inzektor player. There's just a lot that there is to talk about, and I'm going to be as unbiased as possible to be fair in the video. It is my deck, but I have no problem in relating to you how to beat the deck, okay? I really just want to benefit the player, and I want everyone to have an equal chance when they go to tournaments and stuff like that to beat whatever Inzektor player they face. So, we'll get started. Now, first things first, something to keep in mind with Inzektors is their level, okay? They're all the main Inzektors. We have the Dragonfly, Centipede, and the Hornet. They're all level 3s, okay? Now, something to know, when they're equipped, they gain level, okay? They usually gain level by 3, so they turn into level 6 monsters, which opens up plays to, exceed with level 6 guys. The Gigamantis, okay, is a level 6. So, there's things that you can do. Inzektors have their own level 6 exceed that is not very hard to go into whatsoever. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So as long as you keep that in mind, that they're all level 3s, it should be fairly simple to build a side deck. Now, also something else to keep in mind. Most Inzektor players, if they have the means, they're going to run a tour guide engine, all level 3s as well, with the Sangan level 3. And if they run this, whether or not they run it, the tour bus is also level 3. So, level 3s in the extra deck is going to be crazy. So now you can expect, knowing this, you can expect what to see, okay, when you're playing an Inzektor player. They will exceed on you because all of our guys are really small. Our Dragonfly is 1,000. Our Centipede is 1,600, which is decent, but not really that big. It's really easy to get over. And our Hornet is 500. So, when you have 3 Inzektors that are your main Inzektors at such a low attack, you're going to want to go into exceeds. The Gigamantis does give some beef to Inzektor monsters, but not by very much. So, it becomes 24, but again, it's really easy to get them away from being 24. You just have to MST the freaking Gigamantis and it's done. So, just keep that in mind. Level 3s are our babies. Now, what I run in my extra deck, I'll just go through this. 2 Chimera-Tech Fortress Dragons. This kind of strays away from exceeds, but this is, I think, is a must in most extra decks right now, because not only is it great against a meta deck in particular now, it is great against some rogue decks that you may fall in play with. Karakuri is still really good, and Karakuri is something that you should fear. Karakuri can be very fast and can be very detrimental to any duelist, any deck. I've lost to a Karakuri player playing Inzektors. Now, I, had advantage throughout the game, but something that I did mention in my last video is Inzektors lose steam mid to late game. I did not draw that part of Avarice at a very key point in the game when I was losing steam. He was able to swarm with a bunch of burritos, and, that messed me up, that I couldn't recover from that. So, Chimera-Tech really helped me game 2 and 3 to beat a different character you play. I'm talking about a different guy. And you know, this card is really good. It's also really good against Inzektors, just contact fusion and take away their exceeds and stuff like that. Next, level 3 Zenmaines. Amazing against and offensive for Inzektors. So now if you're playing against Inzektors, why this card is good? Because we go with a Dragonfly Hornet play and we attempt to pop this Zenmaines. At the end, if we don't manage to pop your entire Zenmain off the field, you get to pop a card on our field, which really ruins us. So it's good with Inzektors when you're playing Inzektors, and it's good when you're playing against them. Giga Brilliant. A very key card for most Inzektor players, and for most players now. It's becoming a main, a staple in an extra deck. It's also a level 3, and it really just adds some beef to your guys. You detach and you gain 300 attack. So, all face-up monsters gain 300 attack. That is my dog howling because he's psychotic. So please, just focus over here. So, that's Giga Brilliant. Another level 3. 2 Leviathan Dragons, not just beaters for the Inzektor deck. Another very important level 3 that I run into is Leviair, actually. Leviair just gets me back those DD Crowed Hornets or the Macro Cosmos, Hornet, Dragonflies, Centipedes, whatever. Those really hurt, you know, losing your Inzektors. We lose enough steam. Losing our Inzektors into the banish zone is not fun. Leviair just helps recover them. Another card that I run at 2 now is Acid Golem of Destruction. 3,000 beat stick. This is practically like my win condition. I will summon it mid-game and have them waste their resources on one Acid Golem, and then summon another one and beat and wreck phase. So be prepared to see this guy. He is a 3,000 beater, so you will see Inzektors going into this guy just to wreck some face. Utopia. Now, this may sound weird because it is a level 4 and there's no level 4s in the main. But when I side into Thunder Kings and I side into other level 4 monsters. So Utopia is live. And also I main Mind Control now, which is a difference, a change in my deck. So Utopia Ray is live as well. Utopia Ray is an awesome tech in most extra decks now. Really easy if you run Utopia, and if you can Mind Control. If you main Mind Control, it's really good too. Steal your opponent's Utopia. A Steel Storm Roach, again, I do side into level 4s, and this shuts down a lot of those Chaos Dragon decks. So I put Steel Storm Roach in. Inzektor Exabeetle, that's that level 6 that I was telling you about. Or rank 6, actually. And it's like an Inzektor Scrap Dragon. It's our Scrap Dragon. Really good, really easy to go into. You just have to exceed with an Inzektor that has an equipped card to it. Or just one Inzektor with an equipped card and a Giga Mantis and exceed. It's really easy to do it. And the only synchro that I run is Ancient Fairy. And a lot of people look at me and be like, why are you running Ancient Fairy? Well, not only is it a great wall of defense, but a lot of people don't pay attention to the second effect of Ancient Fairy Dragon. Okay, it says, once per turn, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. That's the one that I really care about. That effect is what I care about. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect, which is okay. As long as I can swarm the field and get a pretty decent wall of defense until next turn, that's all that matters. And then it says, once per turn, you can also destroy a field spell card if you do gain 1,000 life points. So that effect I really don't care about. It's the first effect that I care about, which is that special summon that I get to do. So Ancient Fairy is a great tech, and it's really easy to go into. It's just summon Effect Veiler and synchro with an Inzektor that has its level bumped up to 6. So that is my extra deck. Now let's go talk about what I side. The side deck has been changing slowly as I start facing different decks and I start reading up on like heroes and things like that. I'm starting to come up with ideas for many decks. And something I will tell you is the 1 flaw I think that this deck has, or the one weakness it has, is Dino Rabbit decks. Dino Rabbit, they summon that Dolka, and it's very hard for us Inzektor players to recover from a Dolka play. Very difficult. But you'll see a lot of like Dino Rabbit hate in this deck, but a lot of the stuff that I put in here actually works for other decks, which is important. You never want to side for just one deck. You want to be able to side stuff that is good against that one deck you have problems with, but is versatile for other decks. So I tried to make a side deck as versatile as possible. So I start with the 2 Cyber Dragons. I think this is something that's a staple now in most side decks anyway. So it's good against Karakuri players. It's great against if you face those random Ultimate Offering Gadget decks. If you face Machina decks. If you face Wind-Ups, it's good. Against the Mirror matchup, this is also really good to side into. It's a light target for your BLS. It's Inzektors pop the field, obviously. So your opponent is going to attempt to pop your entire field of monsters. You can obviously go Cyber Dragon next turn and go run over that Centipede, run over that Dragonfly, run over whatever, because he's a 2100 beat stick. So really good to side against in the mirror matchup as well. So as you can see, Cyber Dragon serves many purposes in this deck. Not only is it wonderful against the Karakuri, Wind-Up, Machina, Gadget decks, whatever, but it's wonderful against the mirror matchup. Snowman Eaters. I side this card in every match. Every match. I don't care what I'm playing, I'm siding this in. It wrecks face. It has a 1900 defense. Really buff defense. And then when it gets attacked, then you flip it, you get to destroy a monster on the field. So, amazing. Amazing against Dino Rabbits. It forces negations. It forces things to go off. Either you lose it or you force the negate. Do you really want to waste the negation on a Snowman Eater, or do you want to... Or, are you going to save it for when I bring something else out on you? So, Snowman Eater, very good. DD Crow. Mirror matchup. Dark Worlds. Wind-Ups, I would not side this in. DD Crow, you only really going to hit that Hunter. So, using a DD Crow just for one card, I really don't like that. So, DD Crow, I don't side it against Wind-Ups, and I think that's a better decision. But Grapha, DD Crow, Grapha, Dark Worlds, all that, Inzektor Hornets, really good. Also, against the Chaos Dragons, I use this a lot too. Because when they want to special summon those targets with one of their dragons, I just DD Crow the target. 2 Thunder King Ryos against Chaos Dragons, against Dino Rabbit, against Wind-Ups, against every freaking thing this can go into. My tech is the Marshmallow. I like it a lot against Dino Rabbit too. It forces them to negate something. If they want to take the 1000, fine, by all means take the 1000. But sometimes they really don't want to take 1000. Guys, taking 1000 life points hurts. Whether you like to say it or not, I'd much rather have 8,000 life points than 7,000 life points. It's just 1,000 life points closer to dying. So, it forces choices to be made. A Spirit Reaper against a lot of good matchups too. Also, something I wanted to mention with the Marshmallow and the Spirit Reaper, this is great against Wind-Ups. Because, yes, they swarm the field, but if they can't get over something that is not destroyed by battle, what are they going to do? Really, unless they have a Smashing Ground. They don't pop cards on the field by effect, they just swarm. So, what are they going to do when they have a set Spirit Reaper? You just stall until you get your cards to beat them over. So, really great against Wind-Ups too. Keep that in mind. 2 Smashing Ground. I like this a lot with Dino Rabbits and with Chaos Dragons. Also with Dark World, because sometimes they are quick enough to bring out those Graphas really quick. It really depends on your opponent. I would not side this all the time against Dark World. You have to really read your opponent. If your opponent's deck is super fast and they bring out Graphas like if it was freaking candy, like it's just so easy to get out for them. Smashing Ground's good because you can just go smashing the Grapha and then pop whatever is left, and you can just attack, and then wait till they bring out that Grapha again. Hopefully by then you can do an Inzektor loop and pop that Grapha, but extra popping power helps. 1 Creature Swap. Really good because my guys are tiny. And also really great for the Acid Golem plays. Now, be careful with how you side this though. If you see that your opponent can easily stall your acid golem, meaning they make you stall out until you detach all of your XYZs, or your XYZs, until you attach all your exceed materials, and you're taking that 2,000 from the acid golem. Side the creature swap in. Just give them the acid golem. You know, I only use this when I see that my opponent can really easily get over the acid golem play. They just stall me out. They don't use their resources on the acid golem. They hold out until I'm forced to take the 2,000. And then the 2 royal decrees, because everyone is going to side shadow imprisoning against you, and macrocosmos. You activate the royal decree. You side this against everything, guys, everything, because they're always going to side in shadow imprisonings, and they're always going to side in macrocosmos. So always assume that they're going to have that. So run royal decree. I side this against every matchup. I don't care what it is. I can be playing friggin' vanilla deck, but they are going to side a shadow imprisoning. So run royal decree. I always side it no matter what matchup I'm in. So that is that. That is extra power on this side. We talked about extra deck. We talked about side deck, and we talked about why we made some other choices. I'm gonna actually divide this into like an A and B part, because I want to actually talk about what to side out. A lot of people don't know how to side, and that's really important to know. You might have a side deck, but if you don't know how to side correctly, that's the problem. So I'll tell you what to take out in the deck, and yeah, that'll be part B of this video. So thanks for watching, guys. Denise here from Dueling Bunnies, and I'm out.